The world is constantly changing, and you're either moving with it or you're not. And if you're not, then you're probably stuck. The education and training that you got years ago is slowly becoming outdated and irrelevant. And whatever results you got at the gym a month ago have probably already faded away unless you've continued in this journey of personal growth and development. Your relationships, you're either getting more connected today or more disconnected today. Let's face it, there's no neutral days. Every day we're moving forward or we're getting more and more stuck. And I don't want to see you stuck. I want to see you make progress. But we're going to have to face a difficult reality about personal growth. But personal growth isn't always fun. It isn't always as exciting as it sounds. Oftentimes it involves a lot of pain, a lot of immediate suffering, and a lot of sacrifice. And let's face it, not everybody is willing to make those kinds of sacrifices in order to achieve long-term results. So stick around through this video because you're going to be challenged and Let's talk about the painful truth of personal growth. Everybody wants the results, but not everybody wants to do the time or do the difficult work that it takes to get those results. Whether it's health and wellness or physical fitness, getting out of debt, we're all looking for shortcuts. We're trying to figure out how to get the results. How can I get the results without putting in the hard work? And we got to change that mindset. Is the things that really matter in life, there's no real shortcuts for these things. We've got to do the discipline. We've got to do the hard work. And it's always going to involve some level of dedication, some level of sacrifice. There's going to be times when you don't want to do what it takes to get the results that you hope for. But we've got to face that and make the decision that we're going to do what it takes, even though we might find some resistance. Everybody focuses on success and everybody focuses on accomplishments and achievements, but what we really need to accept is that all of this is going to involve a struggle. And our greatest struggle is with ourselves because, let's face it, at the end of the day, I want to be comfortable. I want to live a life that's easy. And easy is the opposite of what's going to bring me the results that I want. So growth usually involves some sort of pain, some sort of discomfort, some sort of struggle, challenges, homework, exercise. When we focus on being comfortable right now, then that is our reward. We are able to be comfortable right now. But long term, we give up our long-term success and the long-term results that we really want in order to protect our short-term comfort. So growth is almost always painful. Real growth makes us feel awkward. Do you remember the first time you sat down and tried to play something on the piano, or maybe you tried to learn the guitar or to speak another language? When you start these new endeavors, there's a lot of work and you're going to feel pretty awkward and uncomfortable and maybe even embarrassed. But why then would you stay with this? Because you have this goal of learning something new or changing your circumstances or accomplishing something. And so that goal outweighs the short-term discomfort that you're feeling. So nothing is more painful than being stuck somewhere you don't belong anymore. So growth is going to involve some level of pain, but whatever that pain is not near as painful as being stuck and not moving forward in life. So the first real point that we have to make is that growth always involves some level of discomfort, even if it's just the awkward feeling of being in a dance lesson, or whether it's doing the push-ups so that you can play basketball or football, or saying no to yourself when you want to buy things that look shiny and nice and new, but you're trying to get out of debt. Whatever you decide as your goal, it's going to involve some level of struggle and self-discipline and pain in order for you to really accomplish that goal. Daily, you are faced with choices, and what you decide in these choices is what makes all the difference. So you've got to make one major choice right now. You've got to make one major decision that's going to lead to 100 daily decisions. When you decide that, okay, I've had enough, I can't take this anymore, I'm going to lose weight, If that decision is real, then it's going to impact every day for the next 6 months or the next 2 years. You're going to have to make 100 decisions every day that go along with that one decision that you made originally. You can make the decision to get out of debt. You can make the decision to work on having a great marriage. Whatever it is, you need to make a once and for all decision that is going to lead to 100 daily decisions. But nothing really changes until you make that once for all decisions, because tomorrow, guess who's going to show up? The old you is going to show up, and you're going to resist this change. There's going to be a part of you that says, okay, I don't know what I was thinking yesterday, but right now I just want to eat what I want to eat. I want to go back to my old ways. And so you've got to make the decision every day to support your original change that you've made in your life. It's always going to involve some level of discomfort. If you're going to plant a garden, you got to take care of the weeds. And whatever decision you make to improve your life, you ought to expect that there's going to be some kind of weeds that you got to go out and discipline yourself to remove those weeds, or your garden is going to die. And your choice, your decision to go in a new direction, you're going to give up. The second point we want to make is that there's always going to be some setbacks. That whatever you decide to do in life, when you start to make progress and you start to move forward, there's going to be times when you fall down, when you resist the process, and you could get very discouraged in this moment. And you could say, well, what's the point? I didn't exercise yesterday, or yesterday I blew it and I ate all kinds of ice cream and cookies. And so what's the point? I'm not going to be successful. It's easy to get discouraged in this moment when you've had a setback, or when you work on your marriage and everything starts to improve and then you have a big argument. You might just want to throw your hands up and say, forget this. I'm sick of this. It's never going to change. It's never going to be any different. And in that moment, you got to catch what's going on, is that, you've stumbled. And we're all going to stumble at times, but we get to decide to get back up. We have to decide to get back up. It's so discouraging when you are losing weight and then you get on the scale and you gain 2 pounds and you think, oh my goodness, I've been working all week. I've been exercising more than usual. And then I get on the scale and I get this discouraging number. You could easily want to quit and say, what is the point of this? I'm done with this. Well, you've had a setback, and these setbacks are going to happen, but it doesn't mean you need to stop. It just means maybe you're going to have to push yourself a little bit harder than you've been pushing yourself. You will face disappointments and you will face failures. And there'll be times when people in your life that should support you in your new decision are not going to be as supportive voices that you need them to be. But even though you're disappointed and even though you've had a setback, it doesn't mean that you need to give up. It means that you just got to dig down a little bit deeper. And there's going to be times when you feel like maybe you made the wrong choice or are going down a wrong path. And this is just a natural part. What matters is not that you fell down, or not that you missed a day at the gym, or that you missed an assignment that was due. It doesn't matter that you've had a setback. What matters is how you respond to this setback. And this is where you could lose it all. And I don't want to see you lose it all. So you got to respond in this setback by remembering your original decision and getting yourself back up and saying, hey, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but I'm okay. I know what happened. I'm going to keep going forward. And yeah, you got knocked down and you feel a little bit defeated and discouraged, but that doesn't mean you need to quit. It means you just got to dig down a little bit deeper and keep pushing forward. And this is the part where we really are tested. Is point number 3 is this is going to require sacrifice. But sacrifice says whatever I'm going for, whatever I've set in front of me is so worth it that I'm willing to give up my immediate comfort or my immediate pleasure or my immediate needs. I'm willing to give those up in order to accomplish something that's worth it in the long term. And this is so hard to do because everything in our culture wants to gratify you right now. And, from the food we eat to the television shows we watch, everything is about instant gratification. It's about making you feel comfortable and excited and happy right now. And we got to be willing to look beyond our immediate needs and our immediate wants and our immediate desires, and have something that's bigger than that, that's pulling us forward. When you enter a race as an Olympic athlete, then that means you're going to be saying no to a lot of things. You might not be able to go out with your friends and drink whatever you want or eat whatever you want. You're going to have to get up early and you're going to have to discipline yourself. You can't stay up all night watching TV. And so to accomplish anything of real significance or value, whether it's going back to school, whether it's finishing and completing that management training that is in front of you, whatever it is, it's going to require dedication, and dedication is going to require sacrifice and self-discipline. But it's going to be worth it in the end. The results that you are moving toward, the change that you are moving toward, the long-term benefits are going to far outweigh whatever short-term comfort you might be sacrificing right now. So here's the painful truth is personal growth, accomplishing your goals and moving forward in life, whether it's in your career or in your relationships, your finances, your health, whatever it is, it's always going to require some level of discomfort. It's always going to require some level of challenge, obstacles, setbacks, hardships. People might misunderstand what you're doing. They might misunderstand your motivations, and you got to be okay with this. The long-term benefits that you're moving toward far outweigh whatever temporary setbacks, pain, and discomfort that you might have to endure right now. We need to have more endurance. We need to have more resilience. When we get knocked down, we are real about that. When we get depressed or discouraged, we face that openly and honestly, but we're in charge of getting back up. We're in charge of continuing this process and moving forward. So people want results without necessarily giving the self-discipline or the sacrifices that it takes to get those results. Stop trying to find shortcuts and do what it takes, do what it requires. If you really want to go after something, then you got to make the decision to be dedicated to that, even when it gets difficult, even when it gets challenging, even when you're alone and nobody's on this path with you. It's worth it. The results that you're moving toward, these long-term results and benefits, are worth the dedication and sacrifice that it takes right now. The person that you become and the life you create and the relationships that you establish are all going to be the payoff for the hard work and dedication that you're giving right now. Now, don't be afraid to take rests along the way, but rest is not the same as giving up and quitting. It's not the same as throwing in the towel and saying, I'm done because I'm defeated or discouraged. If you're defeated or discouraged, get help. Reach out to somebody for help. I'd love to help you in this process. I'll walk with you along this journey of whatever it is that we're trying to change in our life. Find somebody that will support you, a friend, a pastor, an encourager. You know, a lot of people are really good at encouraging. You can probably think of a couple of them right now. Reach out to those people and tell them what your intention is. Tell them what your goals are, and tell them you need them to help you walk along beside you to keep you accountable on this journey. You're probably much more likely to finish what you start if you've got somebody who believes in you and somebody who supports you. So getting excited about your goals and then feeling discouraged when it's difficult to reach those goals, that's completely normal. That's part of the process. That's part of the challenge. It's part of the struggle. You're going to get knocked down, but you got to get back up. You need to find people in your life that will support you. The sacrifice is going to be worth it. The payoff in the long term is going to be worth it. You'll be able to live exceptionally because you've been able to sacrifice in ways that most people aren't willing to sacrifice. If something in this video was helpful to you, if it's encouraging to you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Put in the comments below how you find this balance between your short-term comfort and your long-term goals, and how you've been able to get back up when you've felt defeated or knocked down. Share that to encourage other viewers. And also, I just like to read it and learn more about you and your journey. Check out this playlist if you want to keep growing, and also this video. And thank you guys for watching the video. And remember, be present to life. I'm here for you. Let's work together and let's move through the struggle to the goals. You can do this.